It's BDevine. Welcome. And here is a message for us. I'm going to do quite a lot of work here with you all for the full moon in Leo. Now, as you know, you may only see me during these full moons or the beginning of the month. If you're a Patreon, you get an extra video or two and information, etc. just for the patrons. But for everybody else, if you really want to connect in, time to focus on your own study and your own pathway and your own healing. We have a full moon, so we are coming into a very, very important completion in our life. The full moon is going to be on Sunday the 5th, and it is focused on Leo. It is in Leo. Leo is a very confident and courageous type of energy, so you can find that you might be a little more confident in the next few days. But you also may be feeling a little bit wiped out. When we have the moon, it really takes a lot of energy, and I find the new moon gives me a little bit more of a, like I can really sense the new moon, and it really gives that energy to me. But the full moon is a time of letting go. Don't let pride get in your way, because Leo can be a little bit boastful, depending on where you are in the pathway. So the very early stages of Leo in July, you won't find them as full on a Leo as someone in the middle of it, like in the middle of August. Right, they are truly a Leo. I am right on the very last end part of Leo. I think it changes into Virgo on the 23rd or the 22nd of August, and my birthday is the 21st. So I was born on a full moon in Aquarius, and I feel more sensitive to the new moons than I do the full moons. However, things will slam in your face shut. People will act out. People will show their true colors on a full moon. It activates something in people that drives them a little nutty. Animals start playing up. Okay, they are activated by the energy of this illumination. So today we're going to be looking at some different things. I have a few different decks and stuff that we're going to work on. And I even have a full moon in Leo spread that I'm going to use for us as well. So I will, because we're focusing on the full moon in Leo, let's have a little look here. Okay, so when the full moon comes into Leo, it can be a wonderfully bright time where people feel more confident to show the world their talents and assets. That's the upside of this lunation and of this card. However, take note that the Leo full moon combination creates a sort of tension between your needs and the needs of people in your networks. So this is a time to release pride. So, it's also asking you to really look at what's annoying you and why. When you have unhealed trauma, things will trigger you. And if you haven't fixed what that is, what those things are, you will suffer, because you're going to be sensitive to other people's remarks. You're going to overthink things. You're going to get angry about something that's not even your business. And you can really get yourself in a state, of upset, right? And it doesn't really need to be there at all. So really look at the things that are triggering you, where you feel like there is something that's always at you. You have to figure out where that came from, because that will turn against other people. And God knows, when you're in a spiritual business, you would not believe how many people are unhealed, and they're going out and healing other people. They don't know how to heal themselves properly, because they don't really think there's any big issue there. So they're not digging for anything, right? They're thinking, oh, my heart's in the right spot. I'm just doing this good thing. This is my mission. But if you don't really fix some core things that happen to you, and you've all known my story. If you don't, you can read about me on my website. I mean, many people don't survive a lot of the traumas in this life. They give up on themselves. And the ones that continue, a lot of them thrive, They don't tend to look at the past as something that was pulling them down. They sort of see it as something to strive for. That was my energy. It's like, I'm going to strive with this. I'm not going to let anybody stop me. So there's a determination. I'm a Leo, so there's a determination with Leo to just get it done, right? But you really need to focus on what is still bothering you, because if you're taking those things out on other people or questioning other people's character, when you know damn well, there's no need to do that, or if you're overthinking, or if you're stressing inside of yourself and you're wondering why things aren't happening for you, and all you want to do is work or help people or whatever, and it's not happening, you have unresolved trauma. And you have to look at these things or you'll never get through it. And part of our destiny, our reason for being here, right? Our reason for being on this planet is to change the world, to heal this world. But it's got to start with you. Because if otherwise, what's going to happen is if you're unhealed and you're a healer, right? Or you're a spiritual person, or you're doing readings and you're unhealed, right? I can tell you what's going to happen. When you're going to be fine, okay? Until someone comes along for a reading, a message, some guidance, or a healing. And they come along and they trigger, you're just going crazy. They trigger you. They upset you. They anger you, right? And you're like, oh my God, this is like affecting me. And it can't. If you're a healer, you can't be affected by what someone else is doing. If you're a spiritual reader, you can't be getting, yourself involved in someone else's life and checking in and this and that and all that sort of stuff. You've got to detach yourself, right? But you've got to know why, before you even begin, what your triggers are. And if someone is upsetting you and they really haven't done anything wrong other than ask for your help or whatever, then you really need to look at yourself. So this is something that I'm really helping to change the world with, is the way in which healers work, which psychics work and spiritual people work, because the reason why is because there is threads of darkness through all of it throughout time. And we've been tricked into believing certain things. And we've had people who we felt were very positive or whatever it was, and they were, oh wow, they're so cool, who have taken deals, and they've gotten rich really quickly. Have a look at some of them, right? So why would that happen? Because everything has been about control. Now, this full moon is going to bring into our awareness just what the real truth is over situations that have been controlling us, you see? I sit on YouTube and, I have nearly 50,000 people here. And out of that, there will probably only be a few hundred that eventually see my video. Why do you think that is? Now, on Facebook, it's the opposite. Everything's changed with Facebook for me. I cleared it out. Everything is changing here in a sense where there are more people coming forward. And they're only coming because they get the free readings every day. This has also got to change, because people don't need readings, people need healing. And I'm hoping that through these messages, the healing comes through and you understand where you're really supposed to be. You're really supposed to be doing. And we're going to do some readings here today in a different way. And I'll be leaving these cards down. And I'm going to be talking about what feelings I'm having about February 2023 as I go through. So, what message do we all need to hear to begin this reading today? What is of most importance for us? Capricorn, achieve. Palace of Athena, think. That's a very powerful justice card there too. And the 6th house of sustainability, which is actually connected with Virgo here as well. So the Capricorn energy asks us to focus our intentions on doing, okay? Our own crap. Not everybody, not wondering what everybody else is doing. No assumptions on anybody else as well, right? One of the things that goes wrong for a lot of people is just that they really want to get forward in their life and they really want to do it. They see someone else achieving or they see someone else doing and they really want to do that. And then they start getting shitty with that person because that person is doing it. And it seems like that person is perhaps gifted or perhaps is lucky or special or something. So they feel triggered that they are less than good enough. They take it out on that other person. It has nothing to do with the other person. So the Capricorn energy is asking you, okay, to focus on yourself. And then everything will get much better for you. If you are focusing on what you're doing and you're not being pulled apart by what others are demanding of you, or you're not stopping your journey because someone else tells you to, or you're not sitting in contemplation wondering why someone else has got all this information and you don't. And, you know, I just see this so often throughout the 30-something years that I've been doing this work, is that there are assumptions made that people start really focusing and comparing themselves to others. Women do it all the time with other people's bodies or their looks or whatever. Men do it with abilities and achievements and sport and all that sort of thing. There's competition all of the time, and it's a waste of time. It's what it's been created for, because our true essence is harmony, harmonious energy, right? So how can we block the harmonious energy? Oh, we can create conflict. We can create competition. It's a dark energy. And people fall for it. You know, you can't help but do that sometimes. You'd be lying if you said you never compare yourself to anyone else in your whole life. You're a liar, because we all have done it. Even when I was starting all of this work, I was like, how am I going to do this? Look at Doreen Virtue, because Doreen Virtue wasn't crazy back then. Well, she wasn't, you know, she was doing spiritual work, not this Christian stuff, right? Which she fell for out of fear. I don't get it, but whatever. You know, and she was around and she was heavy duty, and Colette Baron Reid and, you know, all of these different people, Radley Valentine and John Van Praar and all of these big names. And you're like, well, who's going to listen? And I was comparing myself. I was like, who's going to listen to little old country girl BDevine? You know? Who's going to listen? And I gave up that fight because I didn't care anymore. I'm like, I've got to do me. I've got to trust my mission. If I can't trust it, how can I get anybody else to learn how to trust? So move forward. Because otherwise what will happen is that you will stir up a problem with somebody else that just does not need to be there. Because you've got issue with how you feel about yourself and how they're making you feel, because you're allowing that to happen. You see? Again, thousands of people do this. Millions. Everybody. This is not you being a weirdo or something if this is what you do. Or if you're struggling with this, let's just say. It's just how people are, very competitive. But in the spiritual energy, and if you really want to follow your path, and this is why I'm giving advice, is you have to focus on your forward movement. Nothing else can matter. And then you'll start seeing things happen for you as well. So Capricorn, achieve. Drop the heavy load and you will achieve faster. Pallas Athena, the energy of, I think, because she was born out of the head of Zeus, right, as the myth goes. And she speaks of wisdom, intellect, skill, strategy, right? So Pallas Athena is bringing you the ability to walk into a boardroom or other professional situation and be ready to take on any challenge. That's the feeling I have inside of me all of the time now. I don't care what anyone thinks of me. I truly don't. I don't compare myself to anyone else. I just do me. And I teach and I teach and I teach. And if people find me through readings, great. Then that will lead you into your greatest healing. But I keep on going. Nothing stops me. Nothing is ever going to stop me from moving forward, as much as people may try. Right? It's just not going to work. So walk in, throw your shoulders back and stop bowing down to the vibration of everybody else around you. Oh, I've got to do this because this is happening. Oh, well, I have to stop that now because this is happening. Oh, this person needs me. Oh, I've got to do this. No. People don't respect you. If you keep dropping everything for them, they're not going to respect you. They're just going to think that's easy for them to continue to do it. And then you're going to get frustrated that you're continually doing it as well because you're allowing it. So, power. You've got the power. It's in you. You've got the abilities. They are in you. No one else is higher than anybody else here. You know, this is what I'm trying to teach you. Like, wake up to your true self. Wake up to who you really are. Forget the world and forget all what appears to be. Otherwise, that's going to be your reality. Create the reality you want with your thoughts and your words, your vibration, sound, color. Put it all together. So ask for help when you need it, and divine answers will reveal themselves. You can think through the situation with a combination of rigorous logic and the real curiosity about the truth, all connected to an open heart. So you need to just develop your skills here. Connect with your trained knowledge, your natural abilities, your spark of the divine fire, and stop doubting yourself. Sadly, you know, the people I see in the comments for readings say things like, oh, please pray for me. Oh, please, you know, my life is just out of control. This has all happened and, oh, please. You know, I'm like, they're begging for assistance, not really believing that something's going to change for them. They don't have a positive light at the end of the tunnel. They just have what's at the here and now, and I get it. I used to be exactly the same. God, why don't you help me? You can see me struggling here, right? I used to say that all the time, shaking my fists at God. Like, what the hell is this? Until I stopped taking life so personally and started to grasp and gain control of it myself without believing that someone else was controlling it, like God might be doing this to me. No, we're doing this to ourselves. So think wisely, not overthink, not wonder what someone else is thinking of you and then start twisting it in your brain. Stop. No. You know, this happens to thousands and thousands and thousands of people. It's part of a trauma response. Trauma response is, I've got to know what someone else is thinking so I can prepare myself. That is a trauma response. Stop. Heal. Give to yourself. Parent yourself. Reparent yourself. Send healing to those aspects of yourself. It's time for a change. Many spiritual people on the pathway are going to fall apart. Why? Because they didn't have their heart in the right spot. Because they had taken a deal. Because they have darkness that they have committed to. Right? It's very hard working in the light, let me just tell you, because everything is working against you 24/7. They don't want you to understand all these things I'm telling you. They don't want you to be able to be well. They don't want you to be able to never need pharmaceuticals, never need operations. They don't want your psychology to be understood. They don't want you to understand spiritual secrets. They don't want you to understand the power of yourself, because if they did, they'd be teaching it. If they did, they wouldn't be debilitating people through all of these processes, slowly killing people off and having people reliant on them. Think about it. This goes back in time, long time ago. So the 6th house is going to see where you're working here, what you're doing with yourself, how you're sustaining things. You got to work smarter, not harder. The opposite of a dysfunctional situation is a sustainable one. So make your life sustainable. Look at the time, resources, love, care, and things that, energy that you put into your life. So whether you are putting as much in as you get out, and whether you're receiving as much as you put in, the input and output have to match. So if you are not receiving abundance in your life, if you're not in the love life relationship that you want, if you are miserable in any aspect of your life, it's because there's a misbalance of energy. If you're not receiving, that means that you're giving too much or thinking too much about not having it. These are very key messages that I'm giving you today. Okay? This is how we fight back. With your mind. The same way that you got all that crap in there is the same way that you're going to get all that crap out. You're going to talk yourself into something, you can talk yourself out of it. That is the only way. Trust me, of someone who has had multiple, so many years of anxieties and stress. I'm just wanting it to go and wondering why it was there, and why am I being, why am I having this issue? Why is this going on? Why have I got this anxiety? Why can't I just snap out of it? Why won't the angels help me? Because I wasn't looking at it deep enough for myself. Understanding my thought processes of owning that issue. Telling myself, I have anxiety. I have depression. Now you do. Congratulations. You've activated that into your body. It's not going anywhere until you stop. You see? It's true. This is how I can be almost, I'm going into my 50s soon and get younger all the time, have a healthy body and feel fantastic. Why? Because that is my choice. That is my choice. In everything I say and do. Doesn't mean you don't get pissed off every now and then, that people don't get under your skin. But you have to analyze why that's a problem to you. Who is it that irritates you? Who do they remind you of when they're doing that? Right? Very, very deep here. Very deep messages. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Okay, wait a second. Oh, there it is. We're going to do this full moon in Leo read first. And I'm going to use my after tarot cards. So, oops, 1 second. So if you really want to activate all of your abilities and heal, there is no other place to go. There is no other training that's going to give it to you other than the Light Leaders Academy. If you want to talk or come to a webinar where I'm talking about what you get, how to get yourself organized with it, get started right away with support, etc., etc., I will put a link in the comments and join the webinar. So it doesn't cost you anything to be there, and I will help you. I will talk about the course, and we will have some other light leaders that have already been through the course to help you as well. Okay. Don't leave these things. I don't know what people think they're going to get somewhere else, but it's not going to be nearly this caliber of work. Okay. And I'm not just saying that. I am telling you that as a truth, because I have done all of the other courses. And they don't teach you this. Okay. They leave things out. They leave things out on purpose. I'm telling you. Right. So let's go. The personal power. Where is your personal power during the full moon? Where is everybody's personal power during the full moon? Aha! This is the card, Cancer card, the Chariot connected to the moon right there. So where's your personal power? I want you to take a look at this. He is not using any restraints on the sphinxes here, right? What is he using? He's using his heart and his focus to tell them what he wants them to do. Okay? He's using telepathy here to move the Chariot. And these two are working together. In some of the decks, you see them going crazy. And that is because usually this is connected with, the energy of super rapid movement and uncontrollable desires. But as you can see here, this is a connection with being very, very closely in tune with the negative. See, this is the negative and the light aspects of yourself. We all have them. Okay, we all have them. So your personal power is the ability to control yourself. Okay, the ability to control yourself. The ability to control your life, therefore. And the ability to stop allowing others to always, like, I've seen a friend of mine, who I've known for a really long time, suffer with, and I know she doesn't mind if I say this, but I'm not going to say who it is or whatever, but I've seen her suffer with her children since the children were small. She has 5. The husband at the time treated her like absolute crap in front of the children. So what do the children do? Treat her like absolute crap. She tries and tries and tries. She loves them. She spoils them. She, gave to them. She was happy. She was vibrant. She's bubbly. Right? Now, most of the children are adults. And they still demand. And what does she do? She will go to it and she'll do it just to keep the peace. She'll go and she'll try to fix it. She'll go and she'll try to help. She doesn't want anyone to be mad with her. She doesn't want anyone to be upset with her. And yet she's annoyed that she can't stand and get them to listen. She's annoyed that they don't listen, that they do this to her. She's upset and brokenhearted that her children just walk all over. Yet she knows deep down that the reason she's upset is because she did this. She wasn't strong enough back then. So she's always saying, what are my lessons here? The lessons here is that there cannot be fear involved where there's love. There can't be fear involved where there's love. So if you're worried that people are going to, even your own kids, are going to not speak to you because you're putting your foot down, Okay, if you're worried about that, then it's a false energy that you're giving yourself. Because when you put your foot down to your children, yeah, okay, they might take off for a little while and not want to listen or whatever, but they'll eventually respect that and understand that you're not going to take that behavior anymore. And either they will stay away, sadly, and that's part of their own journey, or they will have a complete turnaround. And they won't be able to believe why they were so mad at you, because you were the only person that they could take out their frustration about their abusive father on. Instead of being angry with themselves, which they actually really are, they take all of that frustration out on you for causing it for some reason. And when we harness our own true power here, like the Chariot is reminding us to do, this doesn't happen so often. Like, I have my own children, you know, I know I've got an older one, a middle one, a youngest boy, all boys. All boys. Youngest one was living with his dad most of his life. It was extremely painful. It was extremely hard, and he was extremely hard on me. But I stood up to that child when he turned of age, 18. And I stood right up in his face. And I wouldn't leave, even when I was being abused. I wouldn't leave when I was hearing all the same nonsense coming out. I would not, and I stood my ground. And I said to my child, you're an adult. I'm an adult. Whatever's happened in the past has not been your fault. You were a child. But you're not a child anymore. And you and I deserve to have our life back together. And he broke down in tears. And so did I. But from there we were able to start to mend things. And it wasn't easy because of all the brainwashing. So when you have children in these broken situations, I'm telling you, they are brainwashed one way or another. And it's usually the good parent that is left behind because it's easier for the child to know that the good parent is going to be there no matter what. But they have to do whatever the other one wants them to do. Sad, but it happens. We have to be in control of harnessing this energy. So anyway, big story, but that's just how I am. Okay, so wait one moment here. I just want to... We cannot be always a victim in our life. And we have to decide that we want something different. And this is about conquering and controlling and harnessing your abilities and feelings, emotions, everything, right? Okay. So your journey is underway. You're headed in the right direction. You're going to move quickly. You might need to rein in some of your wilder impulses, like we've been talking about. But understand that you're the king of your destiny. Queen, king, whatever, of your destiny. When he asks these guys to rise and move, they will. They will do as they're told because he's conquered this. He's conquered himself. That's what we need to do. That's where your personal power lies. Drama. What belief or habit or relationship no longer serves you, right? Where's the drama? For everybody that's listening. King of Wands. What no longer serves you? Well, we know the king are masters of their own, you know, they know what they're doing. They're the masters, right? And this is a belief or a habit or relationship that no longer serves you. Is there a belief that perhaps, you know, there's ego there? You know, I talk to some people and they're like, oh, I've got it all and I'm giving it all and I'm going to be this and I'm going to be that and I'm the master of the universe. That's very egotistical, because we all are masters of this universe. We all have this knowledge. We just got to wake it up. I'm just here to remind you of who you really are. That's why I call myself a spiritual guide, giving you guidance to remember who you really are, right? So the King of Wands in this instance is a person that's bringing drama into your life. Now, he's someone that's creative. He is, you know, the energy of the fire signs as well. So why would he be causing you drama? So maybe there's too much confidence here, or maybe there's too much, what's the word? I feel like what the word is, maybe you're feeling complacent in where you're at. I also speak to people and they say, oh, I've done this, and, you know, massive long list of attributes that they've done towards their psychic abilities or their healing or their clairvoyance, whatever. Oh, I've done all of these things. So they think that that's it, right? But they're still coming for healing and they're still coming for readings. But they've done all of these things. So if all of those things were really that helpful, why do you need to come and get more advice when you can get it yourself? So maybe we're sitting on our laurels a little bit here. And this is a little bit of a challenge for us to move into these next levels, right? I have to do it all the time. I'm constantly channeling. I write down my channels every day. I have to wonder why someone is pissing me off, why that's getting to me, why they are irritating me on purpose. Because believe me, we've all got agitators in our life that are just there to drive you nuts. They have a role, the role you've agreed upon, right? So they're only driving you nuts until you figure out what is unhealed inside of you, right? So I do this work, this inner work all of the time, because we're constantly always shifting things through, healing things. Oh my gosh, I'm getting something right through my ear. Wait a second. Okay. Yeah. So this is ringing true in my ears of always having to adjust, okay? Adjust. Sometimes we even think we've healed something. So, you know, oh, what was it? There was something on TV or something what we were watching. I don't know what it was right now because I probably just erased it. But I thought I was past a lot of things in my life. But this one thing happened on this particular thing. I don't even know what we were watching now. And someone just slammed the door like super loud. And I just went like through the roof, like, oh, it's on, you know, oh, my life's in danger. Like it was on the TV. Because, you know, of when I used to hear that door slam when my son's dad would come home, I'd be like, oh, he's home. What haven't I done in this bloody house? What is he going to be looking for? What if he can't find his socks? Like, what if he can't find something that he needs? What if he's out of dope or you know, weed, right? What if he's out of that? You know, is there any food? What can I know, right? Just going crazy in my head of all the reasons why he may take out his anger or frustration on me that night and how I could avoid it. And it didn't matter how prepared I thought I was. It didn't matter because something could happen at any time. A lot of people live their life sitting on eggshells, waiting for something to happen, waiting for an event to occur. And this causes that anxiety. And because it's not anxiety in itself, it's the anticipation of anxiety. It's the anticipation of what's going to happen when you leave the house. It's the anticipation of what's going to happen when someone gets home. That causes the, you know, pain in your chest and the panic in your brain, and you can't think straight anyway. we have to really, really analyze these things closely. Okay, take a risk. What area of your life could benefit from taking a risk? What area of our lives could benefit from taking a risk? Okay. The area of our life that could benefit from taking a risk is our emotions. Because this is the Six of Cups, and these kids are running away from, they were first having all these thoughts and feelings, and they were looking at each other in nostalgia. This is a moment after, this is the after tarot. So they're now leaving those emotions behind. So this is the area where we could really benefit in leaving some things behind, send healing to those aspects of ourselves, remove ourselves from having to always reminisce. Like, you know, if you're always going on and on about the past, do you know people who do that? Well, when I was young, how much worse it was for everybody else, right? We get sick of that because everybody's trauma is valid. Still, you're going to take a risk, you're going to trust in your process, and you're going to leave all the nonsense behind you. Why keep it? Be creative. Where are you challenged to think outside of the box? Where's your creative challenge here? Okay, you got to think outside of the box with home and where you want to be. Where do you want to be? Because the Four of Wands is basically a portal or a doorway, as you can see, going into the wands, right? It's a doorway into your dreams and your hopes and your future. So where are you challenged to think outside the box? Most of you are going to be challenged to believe that you're ever going to have that dream. Most of you are challenged to believe that you can never heal from what you've got wrong with you. Most of you are challenged to believe that you will find the right partner when you work yourself out. You're not going to find the right partner when you're all scattered all over the place, or you still got a grudge against the ex, or there's still, you know, abuses that you put up with that you really don't want to repeat into a new relationship. You want to be at your finest self to find the finest partner, or to attract the finest person. So you attract that who you are, right? It's not a punishment. People say, why do I keep attracting the same old guy, you know? Well, because that's where you are in yourself. It's not your fault. It's just an unhealed aspect of love and emotion. And possibly, you know, if you're a female, then your relationship with how your father was is how you see. And if you're in a male relationship, right, that's how you're going to see the partner. And if you're in a same-sex relationship, it's going to be the opposite sex is how you see your partner. So if you see, for example, gay gentlemen that are together, and I know many, in fact, my best friends are in Sydney, they had a good relationship with their mother, and therefore they're very nurturing, kind, and loving to each other. Right? So, and they just have this beautiful connection because their emotions are nurtured. Okay? When your sense of protection is threatened, that's a father energy. So if you find yourself going for if you're a guy or a girl that goes for the tough guy or the bad boy or whatever, because you think you're going to be protected by them, you have an issue with your father not protecting you, so you're looking for it in somebody else, right? And you are drawn to people who you think are nice and strong and tough, but sadly they turn against you. Not always, but you know. So there's a balancing and reparenting of the self that has to happen. If you don't believe that anything is possible in your life, if you don't believe that you can manifest anything in any situation, not trying to manifest a person, that's kind of invasive, right? But you're manifesting anything in your life that is bringing you happiness, joy, abundance, new direction, the right career, the most beautiful home, the most beautiful furnishings, if you feel that that's out of reach, or that's someone else's life, or that couldn't possibly happen to you because you're homeless, or you've never had anything before, or you know, you've had a life of abuse or whatever, so why would something good happen? You need healing, because this can happen to absolutely anyone who focuses that as being their reality. And this is saying to be creative. Where are you challenged to look outside the box? It's your manifestations that you're challenged with. So it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. And I am determined in my life to have things that I can give to others as well. The more you have, the more you can give. Everybody should be abundant. This was taken away from us. It's going to come back. February is going to be an interesting month for many people. Lots of surprises. Okay. What are your needs? What are your needs right now? Okay, see, this is the 9 of coins. And the falcon she's taken her glove off, because at one point, if you look at the 9 of coins, she's got a bird landing on her. So she's released the falcon. And she's focusing herself on her abilities, things that she's able to grow, connect, and manifest. So this is your need. Your need is to feel appreciation, right? For who you are. But you are needing to give it to yourself. The messenger is on the way. The connectedness and the groundedness is here. You've only got to decide that that's what you're going to focus on, and that will start to be your reality very, very quickly. As you notice the yellow, if you notice the yellow in these cards, it is connected directly to our solar plexus. Our solar plexus goes, it is open at the front like this, and it is the same sort of shape but out the back, and I can't twist my hands that way, right? So this shape is behind you and in front of you. Energy going in and out. And it is connected with our past lives. It is connected with our past traumas, how we see ourselves, things that we've been born with, things that we've come to overcome, challenges, relationships, people who treat us like crap, whatever it is, we've come to overcome all of those things again. So remember that the solar plexus also brings confidence, and it is connected with Leo. Leo is also connected with the spine and your heart. So therefore it's connected with your teeth and your nose as well, right? You know, you've really got to focus on yourself. Receiving. You deserve to receive. If you keep on giving and it's not balanced with opening up to receive, then you will become frustrated and depleted till there's nothing left to give. But if you allow people to help, if you allow healing for yourself, if you allow yourself to receive a change in your life, the abundance will flow. It has no choice. Okay, it's coming up in the near future. Near future. Justice is coming for us. Wait a second. More about the Justice card, please. Okay. Okay. There's an ending here. All right. As you know, the Ten of Swords usually portrays someone who is laying on the ground with all of these swords in their back. Let me see if I can show you. Maybe I won't be able to win it right at this second. Yeah, I've got different cards with me today. In this instance, it's a moment after that's happened, and these guys are carrying this knight away. Okay? Unfortunately, there's been a passing here, and there's honor in how they're removing this energy too, okay? Now, with the Justice coming up, and then this is definitely an ending. The Justice has happened here, okay? And this person is at an end. So this is about our near future and what support and direction we're going in. So things are being weighed heavily. This is not just within us, but around the globe. And people who are not supposed to be where they are going to be carried out, literally. There is a dark and foreboding sky. This is someone who is in a position of power, or has been in a legal position of some kind, and are moving on. They're taken out, literally. They leave of their own accord. It's all over for them because there's just too much information and it can't be squashed anymore. And there's a new start here. This is in your life, okay? If this is in your life, so worldwide someone is going to go this month, most likely, okay? They've got no choice. They've got to either step down or something is going to occur to cause that person not to be in the limelight anymore. There's too much information that is finally seeing legalities. There's repercussions here. It can't be continually going on and on and on and on and on and on and on, right? It's too much. So there's something where there's a changeover here. In your life, there's something that cannot keep going. There's something that you cannot keep doing, right? And it doesn't mean that you're going to get in trouble or you're going to jail when you see the Justice card. It's actually quite a freeing card because it shows you that truth is weighed equally. Truth is always going to be the thing that will shine through, right? Someone's heart and the truth of the situation. It eventually always comes out. And in this case, that will mean someone is leaving your life. Doesn't always talk about death. It doesn't always talk about that at all. It would have to have a whole lot of other cards that are connecting into that, right? But in the world stage, there is definitely going to be someone that exits, okay? And it's quite official. All right, so let's have a little bit more of a look here. What will happen because of the Justice and the Ten of Swords here? Okay. There will be confusion and there will be decisions to make. So we just take a look at this particular card here. So we see this greed. Okay, he's got all of these things. Ha ha ha, I got it all. I got it out of all of these different cups and all of these different places. I've got it all. It's mine. But not seeing that he's being suffocated by the snake here. Right? Someone greedy in your life. Someone who always gets away with things. You are going to see some kind of justice. Or maybe you're not going to see it, but you're going to just have to know that it will happen. So, you know, there's fairness and equality. Some people are going to be involved in legal stuff or something happening or some kind of wake-up call as well. But we have the Seven of Cups here. And in this instance, it's a little different how it's set out. It's also connected with the Tower and all sevens in the deck. And you have to be careful about what you're wishing for here as well. So, see, this is talking about the person making their choice, right? They are filled with diamonds and rubies and pearls and precious jewels, like he's got them, right? And without realizing it, though, he's also taking home something he didn't bargain for with the snake, right? So this serpent, this demon with a forked tongue, has wrapped himself around the young man's waist, buckling in for a long and bumpy ride. So someone appears to have been successful and getting away with the things that they were doing, has been tracked, traced, watched, okay? And it's not going to be allowed to actually happen. It's just not going to be allowed to occur. There are so many wrongs with justice too. Don't get me wrong. Because when my son was small and, you know, that I was going through court for 13 years, and even though I would win in a sense, it still was unfair. And I would be saying to Archangel Michael, what the hell is going on? Why is this happening? Now remember, it wasn't actually something that was happening to me, but more for me, for my energy, for who I am today. And it was happening for my son. As much as I hated it, as much as I wanted him just in my arms, as much as I just wanted to look after him and be there and, you know, laugh with him and talk with him and everything and just have some fairness here. Justice was being done, but not in the way that I wanted it to be done. That didn't mean that it wasn't being done. You see what I'm saying? And the same is here with this. As much as we want things to go in a certain way, we think we do, justice is done in a broader sense. And there's a reason behind absolutely everything that happens. Everything that happens in our life. There's always a reason behind it. It's not a punishment. It's not God not listening. It's not God taking away things from you. There's a reason that you've asked for this experience in your life. It's an experience. And you either learn from it or you become a victim of it. Those are the choices that you have. Like with anything in our life, we have those choices. Okay? So I feel here that very, very quickly we start to see who is who on the grander scale in our lives, in our direction, in our forward movement, and who is who politically, who is who in high corporate positions. And really understanding again that divine connection that is threaded between everybody. And if we can just awaken those threads of light, then this network will spread far and wide and deactivate any of the dark threads that have been woven through time and space as well. We can deactivate everything with our words and our thoughts and our feelings and our sounds and our colors, etc. Putting all those things together. Someone who feels they've gotten away with something in your life is not going to. You may not see the justice, but it's there anyway. And on a larger scale, people who think that they're getting away with stealing, robbing, money laundering, you know, being a clone, whatever you are, whatever is all this big charade we've had over the last, 3 years, whatever. It's just not going to, this is it. This is the beginning of the end. And we need to understand that by the second half of the year, June, July, August, right on through, there is a sequence of moons that are absolutely off the charts. Super moons, blue moons, you name it. There's going to be stuff that happens too in the second half of this year that illuminates, because of the moon, that which has been in the darkness or in the shadows. Okay? That which is sneaky and, dark. It's all falling apart, everybody. Okay, I'm going to show you something else really quickly. Do this divine circus. One last message for today. So this is called the Divine Circus Oracle. I bought a set of 3 used card decks on eBay. I didn't really know what I was going to get. But I got this Divine Circus Oracle, which is a little bit fun. Okay. All right, let's take a look. All right, Divine Circus messages. What do we need to hear as a final message for everybody today? What's the final message for everyone today? Here we go. Bright Baby, number 40. Okay, let's pull this down for you. Bright Baby. Okay, let's see what this says for us. Simple truths will help you the most right now. Complexity is the mind at work, whereas the heart sees with astoundingly accurate simplicity. Don't worry about the details, the hows and the wheres and the whys. Those answers will come in time. For now, all you need to do is get back to the basics of what is true, and for you, that means stepping into the light. Hello! Okay, when a painful or confusing feeling grips your mind, situations can seem more complicated than they need to be. The Oracle of Bright Baby tells you that the best and brightest way through even the most apparently complex issues is often the simplest: saying no, stepping back, voicing your truths, having patience, acting when you need to do so, asking for help. Simplicity can assist you in taking steps day after day until the issue has resolved itself, just as naturally as night melts into day. To heed the healing truths of Bright Baby, you are asked, even if just for now, to drop the complex adult explanations, justifications, interpretations, and stories. What is the simplest version of the story you are dealing with in your life right now? And how can you act on that simplicity and truth, compassion, and authenticity? If you aren't sure you can get to simplicity, if the confusion seems too great, this card brings you confirmation that a blinding flash of clarifying insight is on its way. Make sure you don't discount the insight as being too obvious or simple. Sometimes the answer you seek is right under your nose, just waiting to be discovered, and also as plain as the nose on your face. If you are concerned that something has been spoiled, damaged beyond repair, then the Oracle of Bright Baby brings you good news. It's possible to restore, repair, and return the purity, innocence, and original essence to what you feared was damaged. Innocence is never truly lost. It just gets a bit muddied sometimes and needs a cleanup. If you feel like you've lost your true self or the bright promise of a fresh new opportunity that you regret allowing to pass you by, it's just a matter of clearing out what has kept you away from your light. It's still there within you. It just needs to be rediscovered. Bright Baby tells you there's always a chance to return to the light, to begin anew. So let's go. This is the healing trick. To help you take the wisdom offered and put it best use in your life now, we're going to do this healing trick to clear obstacles to putting this guidance into place. Imagine, visualize, feel, or pretend that you have a little baby sun shining in your arms. A little baby sun shining in your arms. You're rocking it as if it was a real baby. It's such a happy, bright, shining little sunshine. Child, let it shine. Sing or chant this lullaby several times to the sun baby in your arms as you rock it back and forth. Baby bright, you are the day that ends the night. Baby bright, you bring me back to the light. Once you've done this, you've finished your healing trick. You might have gotten some goosebumps or some sensations through you. And so we say this following affirmation to boost the power of this message and to integrate it into body, mind, and soul. So say, I see loving truths so simple and clear. That's all you need to know, right? How this has just come into this reading today. It's all you need to know is how supported you are on your journey, right? There is a way out of every situation. There is a way forward. Don't waste your time on all of these other different practices and readings and this and that. You know, you're going through thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars throughout your life looking for someone to tell you what is right here. It's right here. Think about where you want to be in 5 years from now, and think about what steps you have ready, on the go, already happening to get you there. Just finally, what I wanted to say about the Healing Academy is this. Not only do you get 12 weeks of intensive training that's going to take you longer than 12 weeks to get through, probably more like 16 weeks, but you've got it forever. You've got it to look back on. You have a support group. You have Zoom calls, right? And you have work, because that's what you're given. Support, work if you want it, a platform to work from. This is in the making as I speak to you. So you'll be leaving the academy and you'll be jumping into your life's work. You're still doing your own work if you want to, and you can still have your own website if you need to. But you will be promoted. You will be, you'll be the shining stars. And I will just continue teaching. So what other course that you know of is going to offer you a chance to be able to step right into the work that you want to do in the first place? Practicing with people. There'll be clients that you'll need to practice with as well. But your life is about to change exponentially. And yet people will bypass and go to something else that doesn't care about you. So you have to also ask yourself why that is as well. Come to my information webinar, learn more about it, meet some of the team, right, the light leaders, and see why everyone is excited who's there. Everyone is pumped. Everyone who's changed, they've healed their life. See why that's there. You may know me already as a teacher or a healer or a guide or whatever. You haven't seen me in this capacity though, until you're in the school. So please consider this. There are payment options. It's very easy. All you've got to do is talk to me about it. Have a call with me personally or come to my information webinar. Links for both are going to be below, but get in because I haven't got many spaces left to talk to me personally. You may have to just go into the information webinar at this point until I open up some spaces again. Catch up, basically. Please consider. And consider it seriously. And if you're ready, come and talk. All right, happy full moon in Leo. And you guys are going to see me soon. I'm going to do a live show here on YouTube. I'm going to be, I don't know yet. It's just going to be a live show just saying hi to you all, most likely. But I will see you soon. And much love to all. Many blessings. Embrace your truth. Embrace your life. Move forward fearlessly. You've got this. Always, I'm always going to cheer you on. Always going to cheer you on. Okay? You've always got someone in your corner. Always. Don't forget that. And sending lots of love. And bye for now.